We are really talking about better late than never. That's right. Today, join me for my graphic novel haul for the month of February of 2022. What year is this? Yeah, 2022. So stay tuned. I thought about skipping the month of February because I had packed my books, but I remember packing most of these in one box, and I just found it the other day, actually when I was giving a tour of the progress that I've made so far here in the basement. So I figured, hey, let's go ahead and do it. Now, some of these books you've already seen covered on videos, and I'll try to leave links above to those particular videos. But this is my haul. This was my haul for February. We have an epic collection, some Disney books, some absolute, some deluxe hardcovers, some that I've talked about already, from all types of publishers here, and some self-published work that wonderful folks have sent my way. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's look at this Avengers West Coast. Alright, here we have the latest Avengers West Coast Epic Collection. This is Darker Than Scarlet. It is Volume 5, collecting Avengers West Coast 53 to 64, Annual 5, Avengers 311 to 313, and material from Avengers Annual 19 and What the Number 6. So, what's interesting about this era is the title right there, Darker Than Scarlet. That is actually the storyline that John Byrne started and left. So this is towards the end of the John Byrne era of Avengers. So we're going to get Acts of Vengeance in here and the Darker Than Scarlet story arc. Now, what's interesting about when John Byrne left, he left in the middle of a story. So he left during this Darker Than Scarlet story arc that he started out, and it was up to Roy Thomas to come in and finish writing it with, I believe, Dan Thomas helped him write it, and then it was Paul Ryan that ended up doing the artwork. Now, of course, Paul Ryan had been inking this particular run so far. He was inking John Byrne's artwork during this time. But this is when John Byrne decides to leave the book. So I believe this right here might be the final John Byrne issue. So by the time we come back to this particular storyline, after that annual right there, we have Paul Ryan becoming the new artist on the book. So it really sucks. Like, I hate in times in comics when a writer or artist just abruptly leaves the title, especially in the middle of a storyline. It's happened a lot, you know, in comics. You read enough comics, and even as a kid, you could tell, well, something is a little bit off about this particular story arc, or the art looks a little bit different, even though it's starting or supposed to look the same. But I love these collections. This has been collected in absolute Omnibus editions, but I wanted to get this because not everything is collected in that particular omnibus. So this is Volume 5. And I have done an Avengers West Coast reading order. Why haven't I done an Avengers reading order? So here we have a Boom comic. This is called Turncoat. And forgive me because I still have my moving brain on and I cannot remember if I've done an overview of this or not. And this is all written by Alex Pactanel. And the art is by Artyom Traganov. Colors by Jason Wordy. So I don't know anything about this. I haven't read it yet. It was in my pile for the pickup, so I can't remember if I've done it. This was in my previous hauls. If it has been, I blame the move because it has thrown just about everything off. But this is one of those books that I'm like, it looks like I may have done an overview of this. And we'll just throw it in here just in case, because you never know. Now, a book I know I've definitely done an overview of is the Superman Man of Steel. And for those asking me about the Superman reading order, that is coming. Just takes a lot of work. I am probably 2/3 of the way done reading the books that I need to finish that particular part 2 out and then move on to part 3. But if you're curious about this overview, just check the link above. And here is a book I know I have not done an overview of, and that is Legion of Superheroes Before the Darkness Volume 2. This one here also retails for $49.99. Collects issues of Legion of Superheroes, all happening before of course, the Great Darkness Saga. Jerry Conway, Uncanny Omar Talk Pretty One Day. Jerry Conway, Roy Thomas, Paul Levitz, all of the writers that you're going to find in here. Now, I've mentioned before that the Legion of Superheroes, whether you're a fan or not, like it's one of the most horribly collected series that DC has published. We've had archives, and we've had trade paperbacks, especially the modern. The modern era is collected so bad. We've had the Mark Waid run with long out-of-print trade paperbacks. So it really surprises me that we have a couple of Omnis so far. But I mean, 5 years later, Volume 1 and Volume 2 solicited for this year. That just blows my mind that we're actually getting a Volume 2. And the stuff that came before it, the stuff that came after it, it's just not been collected well. But this gives me hope with a Volume 2 of this, that it takes us all the way to the Great Darkness Saga and beyond. Because this is a part of, like, comics that I really wasn't familiar with. I've not read like 90% of the stuff in here. An issue here and there, but that's about it. And I know this particular era means a lot for so many people. So I'm curious what it's all about. So it's pretty cool that DC is finally doing this. Hopefully we'll get a solicitation for Volume 3 and 4. Taking us beyond the Darkness Saga. And I guess all the way up until the Crisis books and taking us to the 2 big Omnis. But this is Volume 2. Now, this book right here, I do need to make a quick mention. There has been a recall for this book. So this book is no longer available on any website. There has been a misprint in this particular book. And I didn't get around... I will be honest, I didn't get around to reading most of the stuff that you're going to see here. So, unless I've already read it, yeah, you are turning pages with me. So I haven't gotten around to reading this. I know there is a mistake in this book that prints the same page twice. So DC has told retailers to stop selling the book, and there has been a recall. I don't know. They haven't released if there's going to be a future reprint later on. I'm sure there will be, because whenever they've stopped sales of books before, they've done that. So if you have this, get with the person that you bought it with. I'm sure they already know what the protocol is going to be, what they have to do to get the refund, or what they have to do to get a new copy out to you. But just in case you got this from either Cheap Graphic Novels, Walt's Comic Shop, Dying Breed Collectors, Organic Price Books, they may or may not have already reached out to you to let you know about the recall and why they're not selling these. And they'll probably know more than I will when the new printing will be out. So this book does have a recall, and I was really looking forward to reading it. It's Tom Taylor and Andy Kubert and Sandra Hope doing the inks. Now, one of my wonderful viewers sent this to me with his amazing card, Barry Duffield. This was printed in New Zealand, I believe, and it's a Australian book about a group of just military up against these Nazi werewolves. So if you can combine two horrible things together, Nazis and werewolves. We've seen Nazi zombies, and if you're familiar with the movie Dog Soldiers, big fan of that particular movie by Neil Marshall, that's what this reminded me of. But instead of zombies and just werewolves that are militant, we have Nazi werewolves in this. So this looks really interesting. Love that freaking cover. The size of the book, though, it is a little bit smaller than your average trade paperback, so it's like almost like a graphic novel. But thank you so much to David Duffield for sending this my way. And here is what the back of the book looks like. Alright, so 2000 AD were kind enough to send me a care package collecting these books right here. This is Brink. I don't know where book 3 is. I'm assuming it's somewhere in a box, and I apologize for that because I'm pretty sure Rebellion 2000 AD sent this my way as a complete set. But this is all written. The reason I got really intrigued by this, it's written by Dan Abnett, who is half of what makes up DNA. Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning. And a lot of people, like myself, cannot separate the two. To us, these guys have always written books together and should always write books together. Let's look at a little bit of the artwork here in the second book. The artwork is done by I.N.J. Kubert. I'm not sure what that stands for or how you properly pronounce it, but this is what the artwork looks like. It's a very anime feel to it, and that's not a bad thing, for me anyway. But I believe it's only a 4-volume set, and like I said, I know I've got volume 3 somewhere else, but this is what the books look like. Brink, volumes 1, 2, and 4. Now here are 2 books I've already done an overview on the channel. This is Batman, the Dark Victory book, but it's called Batman The Long Halloween, the sequel, Dark Victory. Just like there's a Batman The Long Halloween, I think it's called the sequel, When in Rome, Catwoman. And then this is, of course, Deadly Class. The latest Deadly Class, Volume 3. Love this series. So I'm glad that Rick Remender is keeping on with this. Now, the video that you saw, I filmed that last week. And apparently Rick Remender took it to Instagram and Twitter to reveal what the DCBS cover looks like. So the DCBS cover is out there. It's just nobody has gotten their hands on it yet. So if you pre-ordered it, I'm sure you're going to get it. Here we have Batman, the Caped Crusader, Volume 6, collecting Batman 475 to 483 and Detective Comics 642. So it's the big crossover. And my gosh, this is my era of Batman when I was a kid, when I was in middle school. Alan Grant, Norm Brayfogle, just kicking all kinds of ass during this particular era, taking us, of course, to the Batman Nightfall. Almost there. We're almost there. You have Jim Apato's wonderful artwork through these pages as well. And just, this was my Batman growing up. This was my Batman, like, this is the costume that is my favorite Batman costume. You have new villains, and you, of course, have a new Robin in this particular guy right there named Tim Drake, who has his new costume. And eventually will spin out into his own group of like 3 different mini-series. So, always living, of course, in the shadows of Jason Todd. I love this particular era of Batman. Brings back a lot of memories. And I'm glad that they're continuing this. And I believe we do have another one of these solicited. Or at least it's in the catalog. So, we are getting there. I just wish they would reprint them or release them as an omnibus format for other people. I've always loved this. This is a clickbait cover if I ever saw one. The Vicky Vale reveal. Did he really reveal? I remember that's one of the reasons why I picked that one up. I was at Walmart when they used to sell comics, and I saw that cover, and I thought, oh my gosh, is he really going to reveal his secret identity? Well, you can find out for yourself. But this is Volume 6 of the Caped Crusader. And here we have Caliban. I believe my buddy Kyle sent me this. This is from Avatar Press in memory of H.R. Geiger, Nightmare Builder. This one here is written by the phenomenal Garth Ennis. And it's got artwork by Facundo Percio. Or Percio. So, I know nothing about this book. But my buddy Kyle has some really good taste in books. A lot of his books that he sent my way has ended up on my Hidden Gems. That segment will be back. Just getting things back to normal here. Here is a book that my wonderful wife, the astonishing Melanie, swiped for me, and I didn't know where she put it. And she had a book club on Patreon about it. This is The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, one of my most anticipated reads. Ram V and Felipe Andrade are the creators behind this particular book, published by Boom Comics. And I know some of the people that joined her for the book club really enjoyed this particular series. I don't know anything about it. I've just heard word of mouth that it's really good and I should check it out. So as soon as I got it, I set it aside to read, and she swiped it and made a poll on our Patreon to see what book the book club should read. And they decided on this. And I didn't even get a chance to freaking read it. And now I finally found it. It was in a box. So not her fault. But even though the trade paperback, it is currently out of stock, it's not out of print, so there will be more. No talks of a deluxe hardcover or anything yet, but I hope they do one. Next up is a book that you may have heard me talk about on my upcoming collected editions, and that is God Killer. This one here is written by Matteo Pizzolo, and the artwork is by Anna Wazajski. I'm so butchering that, and I apologize. But this is a hardcover that my buddy Kyle sent me the softcover, and I haven't had a chance to read it. But the hardcover, this is going to sound edgy, the hardcover has a limited print run of 666 volume, or 666 copies. I don't see anywhere where it's written, you know, this is a copy 190 out of 666. But, I don't know, if you find it, let me know. Now, I will say, flipping through here, this is definitely mature content. No idea what the story is about, but what really got my attention were these beautiful covers. Let's see if the extras are in the back. So it looks like we have some variant covers in the back. This is printed by Black Mask Studios. There's a lot of covers in the back. It's really cool. And so, okay. Cosplay or people just wearing Godkiller t-shirts. Pretty cool. Then looks like an interview, and the saga continues in Tomorrow's Ashes, which is, even though Volume 2 looks a little bit slimmer than Volume 1, if you can tell the big difference. But this is Volume 2. This one is called Tomorrow's Ashes. So we have a new artist on this book. It's still Pizzolo writing it. So this is the way it looks. Volumes 1 and 2 are collected in Omnibus. Godkiller Book 1. Walk Among Us is in the Deluxe Complete Collection. And the artwork in this particular volume is by Anna Muckracker, who has more of a cleaner look than the original artist. The colors are a little more vibrant in this particular volume. This really reminds me of an anime. I dig that, though. Let's see if there's anything extra back here. The variant cover gallery. Some of it, I think, is mature content that I can't show. But, yeah, you get the idea. This is from Black Mask Studios. Now, on the channel, I've done an overview of both of these. This is the Flintstones, one of my favorite reads so far this year by Mark Russell. And I saw that they're reprinting Snagglepuss, so I kind of want to pick that up too. And then this is, of course, Gen 13. Bringing back a lot of memories of those early Wildstorm days. But here we have Justice League by Scott Snyder, Volume 3, wrapping up the era of Justice League by Scott Snyder, collecting Justice League 26 through 39. So let's take a closer look at this. No talk of an omnibus, but who knows? I think this is the stuff that leads into death metal. And you do have artwork in here from Bruno Redondo. Now, even though I've read death metal, I have not written this. Is that the Evil Rises? Oh, what was that? There was supposed to be a big omnibus and they canceled it. Evil something. Whatever, Among Evil, whatever that title was. I can't even remember. There's been so many books that have been canceled. What the hell is the name of that title, though? I cannot remember. But anyway, the one thing to note about this deluxe edition is that it is using that almost like a matte paper. It's a thinner matte paper than you find in the pages of like Cape Crusader. It's the same paper that they've been using for the Tom King Batman deluxe editions, even though this is a deluxe edition book. Retailing for $39.99. I mentioned this on my upcoming collected editions when I saw this cover. See booty on the cover in a submarine, but it's printed by Fantagraphics, and this is Olympia. And no idea what is this book. Like, I have no idea what this is about. But it's Fantagraphics, and they've published a lot of wonderful works, independent stuff, stuff from overseas. A lot of the stuff has been translated. And they're pretty picky about the things that they bring over. So if I'm looking for something artsy with a deeper read, this is something that I will probably crack open. It looks absolutely stunning. Now, one thing I did and I've been wanting to read for a long time is Balbuzar. And damn it, this is from Ablaze. And there's nothing wrong with this. This is a kid's book, though. When I started, this is one that I got open. I'm like, oh my god, that cover just speaks to me. It's by Blaze Comics. I can't wait to read this. It's not really a book. It's not really a graphic novel or a comic. It's more like a picture book. And don't you dare come at me saying that's all comics are, picture books. There's this art form called sequential art. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It was just this isn't what I expected. So if this is not what you're looking for, even though the artwork is really freaking awesome, this is more of a children's story about a pirate. Pretty cool that Ablaze is not just known for comics, something I didn't know, because that's what I was expecting when I ordered this book. But it is gorgeous, I will say that about the art, and I'll be honest with you, I read the very first 2 pages and I'm like, okay, not a comic. Not that there's anything wrong with just novels or picture books. Now we're getting into a comic. Judge Dredd. Dredd versus Death. This was sent to me by 2000 AD. And oh my gosh. So these are called the Judge Dredd Essentials. They're soft covers, but they're bigger size than the case files. And I think they're almost the size of the way the books originally published. Super Laugh Hard is one of my kindest viewers that has sent me in the past some custom binds of his own collections in the way that I should be reading Judge Dredd. I love that. I think that was so sweet of him. So I kind of, in between reading the case files, and I have been reading those again, going back and reading what he suggested reading. So some of this stuff is in color, some of it is in black and white, but it does feature one of my favorite characters, the guy that really hooked me on Judge Dredd, and that is Judge Death. One of the greatest artists, of course, was the first to draw him. I'm talking about Brian Boland. Oh, man, what a freaking awesome character. And the other people from his... And there's stuff in here that I've not read. Is that Frank? It looks like Frank Quietly. I believe it is. And that's some more Boland artwork, but looks like it's in color. So you have just different stories by different creators in here featuring that particular character and the confrontation with Judge Dredd. And let's see, you have, Brian Boland, Brett Blevins. It was not Andy Clark, that's who that was, I bet. Brian Talbot, Robin Smith, Cliff Robinson. It's a lot of talent. John Wagner, and of course, Alan Grant. Now, I've done an overview of both of these wonderful Absolute editions on the channel already. If you want to check them out, I'm talking about Absolute Swamp Thing Volume 3 and Wonder Woman. Alright, this one broke my heart. Damn it. I was pissed. So this is the Volumes 9 and 10 box set of the Disney Masters. Ordered this from, actually it was Amazon overseas. They put it in a bubble mailer. Oh my gosh. It was out of print. I paid over cover for it. I think I paid $60 because I was like, well, that sucks because it was $60 altogether with the book and then shipping. But come on, a bubble mailer? Oh, dude, let's just say they got a call. So here is Walt Disney's Donald Duck and Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse. Stuff that hasn't been previously published in America, and this is part of the Disney Masters. I haven't seen a solicitation for a box set number 6 yet, so I don't know if they're continuing this line. I really hope so. This is published by Fantagraphics. Just beautiful presentation. If you have the Carl Barks Duck books, that's the type of paper to expect, the type of binding. Colors are a little more modern, of course, because, well, these stories are published in more modern times than those Carl Barks books. Now, there are a couple of ways of owning this. You can just get the box sets that featured the Duck books, or you can get them individually, because they all have a volume number. I don't know where the volume number for this particular one is, but I thought they did. Or you can get them like a mix match. So you get a Mickey Mouse and a Donald Duck book. And this is the Ice Sword Saga Book 1, which has been previously released. I believe it was Kaboom, which it's the kids' imprint of the Boom comics. They're the ones that originally released this in America for the first time, translated into English. And now it's being published by IDW. So this is part 1 of this long story arc, and then book 2. This is by Massimo De Vita. And book 2 will be in the next box set, which is box set 5. Which I already have pre-ordered before it sells out, or I already ordered it before it sells out. Last but certainly not least is this Marvel Portfolio. This is published by Marvel Pop Art Productions, and actually Marvel's the one that publishes it. It was sent to me, and I could not find it. And people asked me if I was going to get it, or if I was going to do a review copy, and I always do overviews of these. It's just I couldn't find it. I had put it in a box somewhere, and big apologies for that, especially to Hunter, who asked me like every day for like a month. By the way, something that's missing from all this is, of course, I had a birthday in March, but I figured that will be in my March haul. So to those kind folks that sent books my way, thank you all so much, and I will be showing those off in March. So you were not skipped, I promise. All right, so we have these beautiful prints. This is a deluxe edition right here, and that's how much bigger it is than a deluxe edition. Now, you can hang them, you can put them... Oh, Golly, that's beautiful. Nothing on the back side. You can put them on or inside of some frames to hang them up. This is the Avengers. Is this Avengers right here? Yeah, $6.75. It's like this really thick, non-glossy finish to it. It's one of my wife's favorite covers of Captain Marvel, the Kelly Thompson era. That is a bad-ass Venom and Spider. Oh, that is gorgeous. And that's another one of my wife's favorites. This is from the Loki Omnibus. Super sexy time Loki right there. And of course, one of mine and a lot of X-heads, our personal favorite, is this beautiful variant cover to the House and Powers of X. Here's the Iron Man cover. This is the Tony Stark. Yeah, oh, it's right here. Tony Stark. Yeah, this one's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It just reminds me of something Alex Ross would have done. I like more stuff like this. This is another Captain America. What's this one from? This is from Secret Empire number 8. Oh, hello, Nurse. Look at that. My goodness. I love this. I think these are beautiful. We've had some Peach Momoko in Hugh Lee. And it's a little pricey because, I mean, people have asked what the price is. These are $49 or $50, sorry. $50. But they come in this nice hardcover type of portfolio. But that was my haul. That, as they say, is that. If you are interested in purchasing any of these books, don't forget to check out our sponsors. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. If you live in Europe and are interested in pre-ordering or purchasing Omnis, then you should definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices for Marvel and DC big books within the EU. Flat shipping of €9.90 for EU countries, extremely careful and sturdy packaging, emails are answered within 24 hours, and they have a superb selection of new releases and out-of-print books on their website. Just head over to waltzcomicshop.com for more great deals and rare titles, and for a limited time, you can use the code NEARMINTCONDITION, all one word, at the checkout for free shipping to all EU countries with your first order. Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. And that was my haul for February of 2022. Let me know in the comments down below what you picked up that month, even though March is almost over. But hey, at least I found the books. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave those comments and questions down below. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and ring that bell for notifications. Everyone, stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.